Hey y'all, it's me, Finn again. I should probably just stop introducing myself, but if someone just randomly happens to come across this video first out of all of my other videos, they'll probably wonder who this is. I have a tendency to ramble a lot, if you haven't noticed already. Anywho, I thought I would kind of briefly touch on a topic that is kind of a touchy one for a lot of guys and I guess girls in the trans community. The whole stealth versus being out and open, like it seems to me from my experience as well as knowing a few other trans guys and watching other trans videos, that towards the beginning of transitioning and pretty much pre-T to like the first year of T, a lot of guys try to stay stealth. It's like for at least for me, I can't speak for other people. It's like it's a challenge to see, you know, at what point you pass. Like you keep trying and you try and you like you walk with your shoulders back, and you try to do all the most masculine things possible so that you can pass in public and actually be sirred. And I mean, after years of being mammed, it's like one of those like gems in the rough kind of thing. Like you grab it and you keep trying to get it some more and more. Um, but then it seems like as time progresses, and you do become more stealth, then it kind of turns itself around, and then you find yourself um, not really feeling like yourself. Like you are still trying over the top to be as masculine as possible, so that no one ever randomly confuses you for being a woman. Although at that point, it's probably like a better chance of someone maybe thinking that you're gay. But it's just it kind of just eats away at you, I guess. And I mean, in some trans guys, I'm sure it's they completely like it. They love being stealth, and the fact that they are being the level of masculine that works for them and works for everybody around them, so that they're never questioned. But for other guys, I mean, like I suppose for myself too. I mean, oftentimes I feel like I'm not being true. I'm being honest with other people. Not about my gender, obviously, but I mean about myself. Like I do things around, like in public, and around strangers that I would never do around my friends. Like I feel so much more comfortable about my friends that I never feel like I'm putting up an act. I'm just being myself, and I know that they're seeing me for who I am. They know that I'm trans, though. That's the thing. Like the whole that extra level, like when they know, but they're still, treating me with respect and using the right pronouns and being really supportive. I don't have to worry about a thing. And so it's like I wish I mean, I want to get that level around people I don't know, where I can be myself and I don't have to exhaust myself worrying about, am I projecting the right image, to people walking by on the street? Is that guy gonna think, wow, he's definitely a guy, or is he just gonna randomly, for some reason, like notice that maybe I'm not binding perfectly that day, and then be like, oh my god, that must be a trans guy, like it's like constant paranoia, I guess, which isn't, I mean, it's definitely not a healthy state to be in 24/7. But then I also, I don't want to just introduce myself as trans to everybody, because I don't want to. I mean, I'm afraid of negativity. Like, hey, I'm trans, and then someone will be like, oh, and then using the wrong pronouns, intentionally being hurtful or unintentionally. That happens a lot. The unintentional, like just people not understanding what trans means, and it's like when someone says they're gay, then I mean the definition, unless they go further and be like, hey, I'm gay, but like no one's gonna question them. They, I mean, not to the extent that I've seen when it comes to someone knowing that you're transgender. Like people ask some of the most private and like seriously redonkulous questions, and I'm like, you would never ask a gay guy or a lesbian that, or anybody in between. Like Because when you say you're trans, then they get all these questions about your physical identity, and then they, connect it to the sexual identity, and then they start asking you ridiculous questions like, well, if you're trans, does that mean that you're suddenly attracted to someone of another gender, and blah blah blah? And I'm like, my sexual orientation has nothing to do with my physical, like identity. But see, like, I don't want to have to go into that with every single person that I meet, and so it's just like, ah. Oh, I just wish that I could tell people that I'm a transgender guy. I am a man. I identify with male pronouns, and that's just the way I am, and not have to worry about a single thing. That would be like the perfect world, and I wish I could get to that level. And even just like maybe I wouldn't be able to be that lucky with every single person being accepting, but I guess getting to the point where I'm comfortable enough with myself and where I am and with all the friends and family that I have that are supporting me that I can be open with other people that I don't know, and just hope for the best. But know that I'm just being honest and true to myself and to other people, about who I am. I don't want to keep faking myself, I don't want to be over the top and ridiculous. And, like, I mean, I feel uncomfortable sometimes, just like trying to be sure that I'm walking the right way or doing that head nod in the hallway that guys do to each other. I swear to God, that was the most ridiculous thing I have ever experienced. And yet I try so hard to do it right. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what other trans guys and trans women have to say about the topic, because there's a lot to say about it, and I'm sure I haven't touched everything, but at least to me, those topics are very important, and those are the ones that are constantly in my head. So yeah, stealth or out, I just don't know.